it's Rachel and welcome back to Ladle by Ladle. On this channel we talk about eating disorder recovery, body positivity, self-love, intuitive eating, and veganism. So if you haven't already, hit subscribe. And if you have already, then hello. Guess what, you guys? Halloween. It is just around the corner. You know what that means. It's the one time of year that it's socially acceptable for adults to play dress up. Yes. Honestly, wearing Halloween costumes is one of my favorite activities in the entire world. I love planning what I'm going to be and forcing my family, friends, and boyfriend to go along with whatever theme I choose. However, despite all of the typical excitement around the holiday, I know that sometimes picking a Halloween costume or dedicating yourself to dressing up in a Halloween costume can be challenging and intimidating. After all, for young women, there's this weird unspoken rule that your Halloween costume should be kind of slutty. But what if you don't feel confident enough in your body to handle that? First of all, I just have to say that that unspoken rule is so bullshit. I mean, Halloween, the whole point of it is that you can literally be anything you want to be. So if that's like a sexy witch, then cool, welcome to the club. But if it's a far more conservative and realistic portrayal of a witch, then that's just as fucking awesome. If being in a scantily clad or even slightly revealing costume just isn't your thing, then for goodness sake, don't make yourself do anything that you're not comfortable with. Halloween is all about what you want to do for you, not for others or what others think you're supposed to do. However, if the reason you're avoiding a certain look is less because of your own personal aesthetic and more because of your lack of body confidence, then we need to talk, because that shouldn't happen and it just breaks my heart. But I also can completely relate. 3 years ago was the year that I gained back all of the weight when I entered full recovery from my eating disorder. Before that, I had been quite thin. So when I gained back all the weight, I was like really uncomfortable with potentially doing another sort of revealing costume as I had been one to do. However, spoiler alert, I ended up dressing in my typical Halloween fare. And I actually had one of the best Halloweens I've ever had. So how did I get past feeling the way I felt? Well, here are some body positive tips and tricks to help you get into your ideal costume this Halloween, no matter what you look like. One of the most helpful things that I've kept with me throughout my body positive journey is something that my therapist told me several years ago, and it's really stuck with me, and I think about it almost every time I'm feeling unconfident and looking in a mirror, and that is, don't be a bitch to yourself. Another way she kind of phrased this was, treat yourself like you would treat your own best friend. You would never point out all the little tiny flaws in your friend because you probably wouldn't even see them. You would just see the whole picture and how beautiful she is. So likewise, instead of looking at yourself in your costume and picking out all of the tiny little things that make you uneasy or uncomfortable and fixating on them, just look at yourself as a whole being, a whole picture, a whole person, kind of the way that your friend would look at you. And overall realize how damn good you look when you're not hyper-focusing on things that no one else is gonna notice. I feel like I've learned in my own personal journey to expand that don't be a bitch to yourself tip to just generally don't be a bitch. Period. Honestly, the minute that you start to look at others critically or to criticize others openly is the minute that you become part of the problem that's also plaguing you. But if you can always find the best in others and believe that everyone is beautiful, you'll have a lot easier time thinking it about yourself. So basically just don't harbor the negative energy and it won't have an easy time coming back to you. Of course, I feel like it goes without saying, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Remember that your size is just one very small part of who you are as a whole person. Your size does not reflect who you are or what you are worthy of. Honestly, the only thing that your size does for you is maybe help you fill out a costume a little bit better. Have I mentioned I have a tail? Here's an important tip. When your friends tell you you look awesome, believe them. Why would they lie to you? They love you, and they're right. Because they're, just like you're supposed to look at yourself like your friend would, your friends aren't fixating on the little things that only bother you. They're just seeing you for you. I say it in all of these videos, and in fact, I have an entire video on the subject. Don't compare yourself to others. Comparison is the thief of joy. I cannot say it enough because it is so true. Yes, we all look different, and subjectively, you may believe that others look better than you for some reason. But the truth is, we are all fierce and amazing and beautiful in our own ways. Besides, I always find this interesting. What might make you the most insecure about yourself is most likely the thing that other people are super envious of. So just be authentically you and live in your own truth. My cat's pooping. Anyway, that'll make you a lot happier. I promise. Finally, and I think this is very important, especially on Halloween, because Halloween is kind of a benchmark holiday that you know, have pictures of likely throughout the years and you can look back on. So remember not to compare yourself to others, but also don't compare yourself to yourself. Your body, it's gonna change over time, and that's normal and a good thing. So if you're bummed that you don't fit into costumes or clothes or look the way you did when you were 13, 15, 18, 25, 30, and you're now older than that, you need to get over that, because our bodies change with age. Try letting go of what was and focusing on what is now in the present, and how you look and how stunning and beautiful you are at whatever age you're at. It's great that you have those positive memories of looking a certain way when you were younger, and that's a life that you can look back on, hopefully with pride. But that part of your life is over, and you can only go forward. Time travel doesn't exist. Sorry to tell you. It's a good thing that you're a changing body, because that makes you human. So just focus on what you look like now and work with what you have. Those are all my tips for staying body positive this year on Halloween. Now go forth and be spooky. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you are going through recovery from an eating disorder or from diet culture, or you just want someone to talk to, you can always check out my Patreon and the links down below. I have a private Facebook group for patrons, all my patrons, even just $1 a month, that is super supportive and helpful and amazing. So if you're interested in joining something like that, definitely check out the link. Okay, you guys, bye.